not going to come to 704?
I think Matt liked it, but I don't know. He's going to ask you some questions afterwards. Ask you some questions on that. Ask me like questions like why PowerPoint's like it's like 3 pages long. It's like just got like 3 bullet points.
Good to go?
Yep, awesome. Alright. Hi there, my name's Arthur. I think in contrast to the last plan, I took a quite different approach. Obviously by my title and by the picture seen below. So some of my issues, I looked at the area, I looked at more of the residential area, the special character area, and came up to these 3 conclusions. It's a highly homogeneous space, or spaces I guess within the suburban area, and that leads to very boring, unlively, monotonous streetscapes, urban landscapes, just areas full of parking. It's also a very sleepy suburb. It's kind of a place where people go to wake up and to sleep, and I think it's not a very positive outcome when we've got such difficulties around housing affordability and also protecting the special character area. And furthermore, I think that there's not enough chirp anchors to make it an interesting area. Oops. I took a bit of a static focus area, kind of looking at this area, all of the low density areas. So, what was my plan approach? I took a very neoliberal type approach with the RMA planning philosophy, but I added a lot of mandatory and discretionary special character design rules from a very high level. I added, I guess, 4 main elements, which was focusing on site amalgamations, outcomes, and those outcomes are listed, more qualitative outcomes, they're listed in the 3rd point. Focusing on design, focusing on specific, it's not quite clear, but each amalgamation has specific design rules which you need to adhere to. And there was quite a big element of AEEs. So the main point, in fact the main purpose of my zone was sustainable replication, which I built off sustainable management, but summarized in point 4, it's about enabling and preserving special character vibes and making sure that new builds in the area in a way don't hurt that original special character. Had a bit of a couple planning methods. The main one was a building platform. That building platform had design rules that mostly related to setbacks, colors, roofs, windows, and verandas. I had an activity table. That activity table related mostly to AEEs and more of a qualitative assessment. So what would happen is that all the development would end up, or most of the development, unless you're opening a business that's less than 20 meters squared, would have to go through council. It would most likely have to get sign off from Heritage New Zealand, from a heritage planner, from different, probably 2 consultancies rather than just one consultant writing a very simple AEE for, I don't know, 14 dwellings. There were spatial rules and design rules, as I noted, and I think I talk about in the next slide. So the key benefits of my, I guess, more neoliberal effects-based approach was that I had a high level of prescription, but I also had expectations for what I want. So I set quite a high quality bar in those setbacks, verandas, roof and colors were a big thing as well. In this way, through being prescriptive and through setting high expectations, I preserve the social fabric of the area through this plan by not adversely affecting current residents, or I guess NIMBYs who probably wouldn't be happy with any type of plan happening anywhere in reality. And I guess also with the plan, it being fixed-based, but also how I wrote most of the rules, it ties back to planner discretion. Most likely, I guess if you're a heritage planner or want to be a heritage planner, this is really the plan for you if you want to design very, very high density special character dwellings. The key costs, this relates more to the plan rather than the area, but I guess the plan has a level of complexity, especially for the AEEs. I think it probably wouldn't fit within the 20-day RMA period. I think it'd take more like a couple months. I didn't really consider the intrinsic values of ecosystems. I guess it was difficult, primarily because I was focusing on the residential area. Didn't really focus on consultation that much. I guess I only wrote about it on the notification status, which I think would be a bit of an issue. And obviously there's no other elements for, I guess, for design elements apart from the physically rooted special character that we all know, that historical Edwardian villas. And last but not least, here are some images of what I expect the area to look like. I think this is really pushing the boundaries. This would be more near the park area, and this is really what I'm expecting. More color, more tightly packed. I'd expect a level of hidden density, so it may look like one dwelling, but actually you've got two dwellings with multiple entrances. And that is me.
Good job.
Not sure where to start.
Fair enough.
You, yeah. Could you go back to the slide before this key benefits one?
This one.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I think you probably mentioned it, but what can people do as of right without going through an AE kind of process and you know, some of the potential costs you were talking about? What rules do you have in that block there, for instance, that would allow someone to say, I can build and I don't have to jump through all the hoops?
No, you have to jump through hoops.
Oh, you always do have
Yes,
to jump through.
there are
Okay.
several hoops,
Okay.
and I think the complexity of the plan, the strictness of it, enables a lot of planner discretion. There's a good chance that you will be non-compliant. It's difficult to manage with contours and whatnot. The only thing you are allowed is a home occupation or a business of less than 20 meters squared. I think that just removes a bit of like, you
Yes.
know, you're allowed to open a
Yes.
flower shop, or like
Yeah.
you're allowed to enable that type of
Yeah.
frontage, front businesses, like maybe a tiny coffee shop. I think
But when it comes to design rules, it is very discretionary. I
Yes.
thought I heard you saying that you could, that certain colours were specified.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that's possible, but it's always gotten to enormous political flack in the past. But what you're saying is that there would be guidance about the colours, but it's still discretionary.
I've chosen, I believe, looking at this, I think it might be this one, or somewhere, I've unfortunately forgotten what letter it was, but you can choose, there's sets of colors, where it's closer to the park, it's more darker, where it's farther away from the park, it should be a little bit lighter, but I've got 15 or 20 specific colors, with like the individual like hex numbers on it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay, so you've been quite specific about the colours and the reasons why but they're not rules, they're part of the discretionary process.
No, they're part of the design, they're part of the amenity rules, or like performance standards that you, I guess performance standards, I haven't named them performance standards, but you have to meet them.
Yes.
Does that mean you're not allowed the house that's the colour of your t-shirt?
No. Nor the color of the presentation, well probably this white as well, probably none of these colors actually.
Fair enough. Okay, well thanks, Arthur.
Collecting my data,
John Snow?